Hey everyone, welcome to my first ever Marvel Rivals guide. I'm very excited, but I'm also very nervous to put this out there, so let me know how I do. I'm gonna try and put as much information and as much of my experience out there for you guys because I do want to help you guys at the end of the day. So today we're gonna be going over Moon Knight, who is my personal favorite character in the game. Moon Knight is a character that has a very low skill floor in my opinion, which is kind of perfect for beginners. But if you master him and you get really comfortable with his abilities, you can absolutely take over lobbies. I've put a ton of hours into him for the first month of the game, and I really wanted to put this guide together for both beginners and veterans so that hopefully I could teach everyone something new about our favorite split personality vigilante. So let's start off with his abilities. His first ability is just a simple double jump. I really feel like I don't need to explain that too much. It's just him jumping twice, really. It's good to just get new positions and just kind of relocate. His second ability is going to be his glide. So basically when he's at a certain height, he could just glide down to the floor or really glide to get a different position as well. His third ability is his ankh, and his ankh is the core of Moon Knight's kit. It's basically the centerpiece for his damage as a whole and his burst potential as well. Placing an ankh near an enemy pulls the enemy towards the ankh, so it's great for numerous combos. Also, shooting the ankh does damage to anyone who's in the radius of it as well. You do guaranteed damage for shooting the ankh with people inside the radius, but you do more damage if you shoot people that are within the radius of the ankh, if that makes sense. So it's 100% situational on whether you shoot the ankh or the players that are inside of the radius. But I always ask this question, which is better, guaranteed damage or the chance of getting higher damage? For me personally, I go with guaranteed damage any day of the week. I'll explain different ways you could use the ankh in a little bit. I just want to get through all of our abilities first. And then your next ability is going to be your Moonblade. Your Moonblade is an alternate projectile that does a little bit more damage than your regular primary, but it is on a 6-second cooldown, so make sure you use a little bit more aim when using that. Next ability is going to be his Grapple, which is going to be a great movement ability in your kit that helps you with your positioning. Moon Knight thrives on the high ground, so use your Grapple and double jump to get into some high up areas. And a quick little bonus tip is if you shoot at your feet directly, you'll be able to get the maximum amount of height for your grapple. And then finally his ultimate. His ultimate is the highest amount of burst damage in a radius that you could ask for in this game, which makes it extremely powerful. The damage comes from the claws that drop from the sky inside of the radius. Also, a quick tip is to combo your ultimate with your ankh so that you can try and trap enemies within it and burst them down before they can escape the circle. So basically throw down your ultimate and then throw down your ankh immediately and your enemies will get trapped in it. All right, so let's talk about his playstyle next. So Moon Knight excels at mid to long range playstyle. He has a bit of mobility when it comes to his grapple and double jump, but it's not as effective as getting out of situations like how other characters have. So he is incredibly susceptible to getting dove by the enemy team. That's why you always want to make sure that you're always behind your tanks and never fighting in their front lines. You will be targeted down and soon enough you'll be making that long walk from spawn. He works very well on the high ground as well, so try and perch yourself up somewhere high and find isolated squishy targets to burst down by throwing your ankh, then your Moonblade, then your primary fire at the ankh. This combo alone will burst down a lot of squishy targets, so prioritize taking out the enemy supports. Not only does your damage bounce off of your ankh, but your damage will also bounce off of any enemy players as well. So when enemies are grouped up together, your damage and your primary fire and any projectile that you throw will bounce off of your enemies, which really punishes teams that stick close together. So Moon Knight is a best of both worlds DPS. He can shred a squishy target from 100 to 0 health before they even know it hit them, but also on top of that, he can rip apart a team that's just clumped together. So I wanted to circle back to your ankh placement as well. So you can place down a maximum of 2 ankhs down at a time, so try and be strategic with where you place them. I always try to place them above doorways that I know the enemies are going to walk through, or if somebody's pushing me, throw it down right in front of them or right to the side of them. That way they either A, have to target the ankh for 2 seconds, that way that is less time that they focus on you, or B, they ignore it and they get punished by you just doing damage to that ankh, and then you do in turn do damage to that person as well. Here are some examples of good ankh placement. That way you can just have other teams turn around or ignore them. That way you're punishing them and just pumping out damage as well. So above doorways like this, or around corners like this that the enemies can't see. This is what I always do, and it really helps me out tremendously. And that's really most of his kit right there. I really love this hero so much and the way he plays. Like I said, he's a very easy character to learn, and I definitely recommend picking him up if you haven't. But he's one of those characters where if you take him to the next level, I'm promising you guys, you will be able to take over lobbies just by using him. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I tried my best with this video. Let me know how I did. I really want to do more guides in the future. So let me know what you guys would like to see me cover. I just wanted to do something first that I was very knowledgeable with. I've been playing Moon Knight non-stop. So I'd love any and all recommendations on who or what to cover next for a guide. So thank you guys so much for watching, and always beware the moon.